The first match, this is a rematch of the North American Open Finals 1 month ago. And the first team today won that match, and they are the reigning North American Open champions. Seed number 3 here, they've looked brilliant so far and haven't lost a game yet, beating Jeff Osborne and Matt Jensen, and then Clinton Liu and Jamie Acox last night. The left wall player showed incredible touch yesterday, particularly in the 2 front corners, with a combination of drops and very succulent lobs. He won the interscholastic title at Deerfield, the intercollegiate title at Columbia, and he was the 2022 SDA Rookie of the Year. He's number 5 in the SDA. Please welcome Sam Khalifa. His partner, the right wall player, played nearly error-free squash yesterday, punctuated with brilliant winners. He's a former Princeton captain, winner of the doubles team of the year, and was the 2019 Johnson doubles champion with one of his opponents today, Zach Alexander. Please welcome SDA ranked number 1, Chris Callis. That was loud. I have a feeling you guys are going to be louder in a moment. The next team are our number 1 seeds, and they too have made it to the semifinals without losing a game, beating Rocky Monroe and Sanjay Jiva in the first round, and David Letourneau and Kyle Martino yesterday in the quarters. The left wall player is reportedly recovering from injuries, but you'd never know it from the way he's played so far, moving freely, quickly, ending points decisively with his gorgeous racket work. He's a Commonwealth Games gold medalist in softball doubles and the 2019 Johnson champion with Chris Callis. Please welcome SDA number 6, Zach Alexander. Now, the right wall player should have been distracted on the court yesterday because he has just a few things going on this weekend. He is, as you know, the defending Johnson champion with James Stout, and he won last year's North American Open with his current partner, Zach Alexander. Please welcome the Heights Casino head pro, director of squash, SDA number 3, James Bamber. And I'm joined today by one of the great collegiate players of all time, Ashley Davies. He played for the University of Rochester. He grew up in England. He had one season in college where he went undefeated for the entire dual match season, which is a feat very few have done. And he's currently number 14, is that right?
I believe so, yep.
Number 14 on the SDA, so welcome, Ash.
Thank you very much, and that was a very nice welcome. Thanks, Will. Looking forward to the game today. We've obviously got a very big match here in our first semi-final.
And they're underway, so let me just introduce who all the players are. So the team in blue are the number 3 seeds, and on the left wall is Sam Khalifa, on the right wall is Chris Callis.
They are currently number 6 and number 1 on the SDA Tour, respectively. And the team in white are the number 1 seeds, and that is Zach Alexander, who's on the left, and James Bamber on the right, who is the head of squash here at the Heights Casino. So if you all are watching the introductions, you would have heard an extremely loud roar when they were introduced, because they are very popular, particularly Jim, with all the kids here who are all his students, and he has a lot of affection here at the Heights Casino. Now this match, Ash, is a replay of the North American Open final from just 1 month ago, which was won by the team in blue, who were the number 3 seeds here. What are you expecting today?
Yeah, no, that was obviously a great final, and I think it was Khalifa and Callis who took that match here. So obviously with Bamber being on his home court, Zach's looking real fresh, because I know they had a really tough semi-final in the North American Open. I expect that this possibly could go to the wire. Obviously, you've got James on the right wall, who obviously brings a lot of energy, a lot of movement. So I expect to see him flying around. But also you've got Zach on the left, who can obviously finish the ball fantastically. And in his quarterfinal yesterday, I don't think he actually missed any of his shots. So, but it's a really balanced matchup, because you've obviously got Callis, who moves so well and hits the ball so clean, and you've also got Khalifa, who can put a ball away from anywhere. So I expect nothing but tight rallies and long games in this one.
Well, those first two, that second point at least, was a very long point there, and potentially indicative of what you might see through the rest of the match. In terms of strategy here, if you are the team in white, Sam is certainly the less experienced player. Are you playing balls to him, or is it easier to play balls over to Chris?
I think you've got to, if I was playing the guys in blue, you kind of want to keep that ball nice and warm. Sam obviously has an incredible touch and loves to work the ball forward, so I would obviously want to try and keep that heat on Sam, and not give him any easy chances to kind of move that ball forward, whether that's through pace or through targets. But keep Callis honest, keep him in the game, and not just kind of pinpoint one player, because every player on this court's a very talented player. So I think they're going to have to be accurate if they want to kind of get their revenge on these guys here.
And same question going the other way. So now you're the team in blue. What are you looking at here in terms of playing Bamber and Alexander?
I think you have to understand, obviously, that there's going to be a lot of balls coming back with Bamber's incredibly talented movement. I think you kind of want to, I think Callis wants to bring in a lot of pace and give Khalifa chances to kind of open up and use his skill set. But you've got to limit Zach. You don't want to give him any balls off the back wall, because as he turns onto that forehand, he can be lethal and he can hit a lot of winners. So there's a lot of target hidden, and whoever can really execute their plan in the best way is going to win this, I think.
Well, we've got an early lead for the defending North American Open champions, 4-2. There was a stroke called at 3-2 when Bamber hit it right back at himself, and we've played a let ball since then. So we're early in the first game here, and the points for the most part are long, as we were expecting they would be.
Yeah, and it's probably good to mention, this court's very fast with the lower roof here. It really keeps the ball moving through the court a lot, which kind of slightly different to some different courts that are played on in the SDA Pro Tour. So definitely brings a different dimension. Obviously Zach loves to kind of control the ball and slow the ball down a little bit to get good positioning, to give himself his shots. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with that. Oh, great shot there back there.
Well, I've talked about this in past years, but I don't think I've talked about it this year yet. But the reason the court is fast is actually not just because the roof is low, but because in the 1930s, when this court was built, it was actually built by the members during the middle of the Depression. And they got down to dig out the hole and found that it was all stone, granite. And so they broke it apart, literally pailful by pailful, and took it all out. And so what's behind all the walls is solid rock. Okay, and so one of the reasons that this court plays fast and plays so solidly is you've got wood that's backed by rock, literally backed by rock. And so in terms of true bounces, it's got, I think, except there are some sidewall floor spots where you can get a little bit of a nick, but in terms of true bounces, this court is really known for having true bounces. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Khalifa and Callis the very nicely named team because they have two sounds at the beginning of their names, Khalifa and Callis. They are now have opened up a nice 7-2 lead here.
Great shot there by Zach as well. That was the one where he turns on that ball.
Turns,
he's deadly.
Hits that little forehand from the backhand side.
It's very interesting here. You've got two guys who bring a lot of heat and a lot of great movement and ball control on the right wall, and then you've got two absolute marksmen on the left that love to kind of show off their skill set and hit the winners. So it's an interesting match here.
Well, that was another error by Bamber. Now, the thing about Bamber that's impressive that he won this title last year. It's impressive that he's in the semis because he literally is doing about 20 things this weekend. He organized a luncheon the other day where he was helping write some of the questions and the bios, thinking about the logistics, thinking about seating, and still trying to play. And I've always found in the past, more in singles than in doubles, but trying to run a tournament and play is just brutal. It's just your mind is in 20 different places. And right now it looks like Jim may need to settle down a little bit because Chris and Sam have come out very strong.
Yeah, no, definitely. And obviously, I guess on behalf of all the players, Jim does a really good job here at the casino, and this is definitely one of his priorities every single year is to put on a fantastic event for all the members here, which obviously buy in and make it such a great event. And it is tricky, right, when you're trying to win these top-level matches and you're trying to obviously do your role in running the event as well. But as we saw last year, he has the ability to do it, and hopefully he can get stuck into the semi-final here.
Well, I thought this was going to be a very close match, and you just predicted it might go down to the wire, but this first game is looking very dominant by the two people who won this matchup 1 month ago.
They've managed to get Zach moving forward into that front left, causing them a little bit of issues. You can see Khalifa is not really scared to take that ball forward and work it in, which is always a good sign for him. If he's tentative going in, he might struggle. But when he's free-flowing and taking that ball in short, like when himself and Jim Bamber played together and they won the tournament in Wilmington, when he's free-flowing and he's attacking those front corners, he can be a real issue for anyone on the tour to play. That's a good line. Team in white just seems to be just getting stuck a little bit behind the guys in blue. A lot of balls coming off that back wall. A lot of winding up from the teams in blue. It's probably why they're reflected in the score.
One of the things we noticed yesterday with Callis was just how far up he was playing in the court. And
it's good heat there.
On that point.
And I think a good point to raise is like on this court with the ball being so fast, you can almost want to kind of sit behind that red line. But if you're actually going out there to attack and you want to be positive, getting in front of that line and kind of holding that position, it's definitely important. And it seems like, as you're saying, Callis is putting himself in a real good position here. Just getting
the back wall there. Set up. Nice retrieve by Khalifa. Attempted Philadelphia. And it's a Philadelphia for a winner. And just to remind everybody what a Philadelphia is, it's a front wall, side wall, goes all the way across the court, hits the side wall before the back wall, and then slides gently along the back wall, making it almost impossible to pick up if you hit it just right. And he did on that one. That was Zach Alexander hitting that shot.
You can see Khalifa looking to turn onto that forehand at every opportunity he can. All the best left wallers who are righties always looking to get on that forehand and pose a threat.
Now the question is, can Bamber and Alexander win a few points here, even if they lose this game, just to get a little momentum going for the second game? This is better. This is a longer point. Is he going to get the let? I think they said yes, let.
Yeah, I think that's a fair call. I think, yeah, if I was the team in white here, you want him to kind of settle yourself, win a couple of points, maybe elongate a couple of rallies. Just try and get their foot in, because it seems like Callis and Khalifa have really come on here the more organised unit, you know, hitting their spots a little bit better and making it uncomfortable for the team in white.
Well, coming into this match, I thought these two teams had definitely played the best in the tournament so far. They've looked the strongest. They've gotten here. Neither team has lost a game yet. And I'm just a little bit surprised that this has been such one-way traffic for Khalifa and Callis at the beginning here.
Yeah, and I think Bamber and Alexander here will probably, even if they lose this one fairly easily in the first, they'll regroup, and I don't doubt that they'll tweak the tactics, whatever that may be, to obviously unsettle the team in blue. But they can't keep giving Khalifa opportunities in the front to really show off his skills. Need to get Zach on the ball with time. Callis and Khalifa are obviously both R&T members and play very frequently. You'll always find Khalifa on court every single day. We always have a joke that we always see him on court all the time.
It's the way this game has been running.
It's interesting. Zach couldn't miss a ball into the front yesterday. It just kind of shows the level of the pace, and the difference those little millimeters can make, you know.
Yep. It's a nice get by Khalifa. He's bringing some heat.
Yeah,
he's bringing some heat. He didn't really, I mean, we know he's capable of hitting it hard, but he didn't really do that yesterday at all. He was really hitting balls into the front right corner, just absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, he probably doesn't get enough credit as he deserves for the ability that he has to hit the ball so hard. And obviously being on that left wall, hitting the backhand, in my opinion, you can only really play that left wall unless you've got a fantastic backhand swing.
And watch this. This is just, that's a gorgeous reverse there.
Takes away Khalifa's legs with the quality of shot there.
I think the score now is 12-5, I believe. I think the scoreboard is a little bit behind.
Interested to see if they give a light here. I thought that was a winner. I don't know about you, Will.
The referee is Susie Pierpont, who of course is a staff member extraordinaire of the SDA Tour, and herself a great doubles player, and she did some commentary with me yesterday. And she is refereeing this match.
You definitely don't want to argue with Susie when she's in the middle.
She's very self-confident about well, almost everything.
She knows the decisions, and she definitely lets the players know, so that's what you need. You need a strong ref in the middle, especially in a game as tight as this. Or could be as tight as this. Good hands there.
Wow, nice shot. I've lost track here. I think it's 6-13. Does that sound right?
Zach calling off Bamber there. Wanted to get a hold of all of that. Oh, a bit of a tough time to take the ball in short there. Zach really was kind of on the back foot. And
it was game ball there, so 14-6, I'm afraid. So, well, that was a dominant first game, Nash. I think we are looking to see whether or not Bamber and Alexander can turn it around. So it'll be interesting. They're coming up here. They're talking with each other, and here we are. I'm Will Carlin, and that's Ashley Davies. Sorry, I almost called you Zach Alexander. So this is this is going to be a real opportunity to see how well Jim and Zach communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Now, I think they're both generally very supportive partners, so I think that is not going to be an issue, but whether or not they can come up with a game plan to turn this around is.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think they've got a very good team chemistry. They'll have definitely been in this place before. They've definitely lost games that didn't go to plan, but I would be very surprised if they didn't come out in this next game and kind of rectify some of those areas and maybe try to mix things up to try and get themselves back in front and try and limit the options that Khalifa and Callis are kind of getting in the middle of the court at the moment. So.
And right off to our left here are Sam and Chris, and they're having a spirited dialogue. Not they're just talking a lot. Not annoyed with each other. Obviously, I think they're probably both very pleased with how that game went.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you're playing against a quality opponent, and you win the first game, sort of going away, which I think they did that game. It was going away. You need to be on your guard at the start of the second game because the other team is coming ready to correct that error, and you might be, even though you're trying hard not to, you might relax a little bit, and so you've got to sort of be mentally ready to do it.
Yeah, 100%, and it's important for both teams from both sides, right? If you've got that 1-love lead, you want to kind of step on the gas and try and get 2-love up and really question those guys and make it really tough for them. But on the other side, if you're coming down from 1-love down, you've got to get in there and get a good start. So interesting to see who can apply the tactics and who can get in front here.
So the number one tactic, if you were Bamber and Alexander, the number one tactic that you would do to really focus on to change this game at the beginning, I think you said it, is to get it basically over Sam's head into that back corner.
I think you've got to limit the opportunities that he's getting on his racket. I think you've definitely, easy way to do that is get the ball behind them.
Yeah.
Maybe use the pace, try and get the ball through the court, hit their targets better, and get themselves set in front of Callis and Khalifa, because then they're going to be able to use those shots and the skills that they have. I think the team in blue is just kind of dominating that middle line right now, and Khalifa's obviously showing off a lot of the skill he has, and Callis obviously has got great heat and great pace, so they're not really giving them much.
And Sam brought out the pace that game, too.
Yeah,
He hit a couple of really hard smack winners there.
You know you're in trouble if Khalifa's bringing the pace and the drop shots. So it's going to be an interesting start of this game. I'm excited to see who can kind of get in front here.
Well, we are about ready to start game 2. Again, just to remind you, the team in blue, Sam Khalifa on the left, Chris Callis on the right. Team in white, Zach Alexander on the left, Jim Bamber on the right. Number 1 seeds are the team in white. Number 3 seeds are the team in blue. The team in blue is winning 1-love, although the first point of the second game went to Bamber and Alexander. And what we're going to be looking for is to see whether Bamber and Alexander can even get like a quick start here. If they can get a quick start, that they're going to feel much better about everything.
Definitely ease the nerves if they can get a couple of cheap points.
But there we go. Talk about a cheap point. That's one where just miscommunication. Zach thought that Jim was going to take it. One of the things that Jim is always preaching in doubles is to try and make sure you can guard that side wall, and I think he was a little bit far away from it there and was hoping Zach would pick that up. And a conference already.
Yeah, it's important points, and obviously Bamber realizing that here, that they need to kind of steady the ship and can't give away a cheap lead, especially being 1-love down, because 2-love becomes very tricky against a team of this level. So definitely aware and ready to change if needed here.
A nice shot by Alexander, good get by Khalifa. So, what we were talking about is getting them to the back, and I have to say right now the team in blues, through a combination of lobs and, as you say, hitting their spots, they're getting Team White having to go to the back wall.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a battle for that, whether it's singles or doubles, right? The battle for the middle of the court is so important. I wouldn't be surprised if we see White trying to lift the ball a little bit here, because they're hitting a lot of their shots from behind the red line, that's for sure. Heat from Bamber.
This is a good point.
It's coming off the back wall, giving opportunities to Sam.
Nice get. Oh. He wanted to do that shot. But I don't think he was looking for that sort of, near wall where he hit the forehand into the right corner. I think he was actually thinking about coming back around the other way, which is why he held up. God, that's a nice drop shot.
Good dodge from Bamba there.
And good coverage by Alexander.
Not quite getting the angle there, Jim. Looking for the 3-wall nick and didn't quite capture it.
It's a good shot, good defense.
A little bit reckless there from Callis. They're really trying to bring in a bit more pace here. The team in white, good winner.
Now, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the crowd, which has a lot of kids with their feet hanging over the edge of the court, and almost all of them are wearing a shirt that says Bamzander, which is a combination, obviously, of Bamber and Alexander. And they're the ones who just let out the squeals of delight on that last point there.
Definitely a home crowd favorite, Jim, here. Especially I watched the final here last year, and the crowd really helped them push over the line.
Yep.
Fantastic.
There we go. Now, if Alexander starts to get hot, that's 2 winners in a row. That could be just what the doctor ordered for the team in white.
They can definitely change the momentum, but it's a good response there from Khalifa.
Yeah.
Trying to get a couple of winners on the bounce can really kind of turn that momentum and really get the game going for you, especially when if you lose the first 15-6, it's a little bit of a drumming, right? So get the confidence up a little bit. They really need Zach to start pulling a few winners from that racket. He really does drive the high amount of winners in this pairing. Bamba's the wheels, Zach's the winners.
Well, one of the things last year when Bamber was playing with Stout was Bamber came up with a lot of winners too.
Mm-hmm. He's just always so well known for his phenomenal court coverage.
Yeah, he's super fast.
Endless energy. It's good lift there from Bamba. Just even that shot there.
Zach does not think that Sam got that ball.
Rip it at him.
Wow.
Fantastic point there.
And look at the crowd. Now you can see down, if you look at the crowd, you see all the little kids down by the edge of the court. They're very excited.
Really good point there as well. Bamba, under pressure, lifted the ball really well and kind of created an opening by getting Khalifa behind him, who shot, which kind of opened up the space in the front for Zach to then get in.
And the other thing was that Zach thought the point was over. He thought he had hit a winner. And Jim, luckily, kept playing and actually wound up hitting the last 2 shots, which created the winner there. So you need to make sure that you play the referee's calls.
But as expected, White just starting to lift that ball a little bit more. Oh, outrageous shot.
That's off the back wall. I mean, that's a crazy shot. Beautiful backhand.
Khalifa obviously was a fantastic singles player in the collegiate scene as well, obviously winning individuals 3 years in a row. So they're not surprising to see him putting in a drop into the nick from the back wall. He's always well known for his touch.
He's somebody who I thought, had he wanted to, could have had some impressive performances on the pro singles tour too.
Most definitely. I think if he'd really committed and wanted to kind of push himself on the pro tour, I have no doubt that he would have been in the top 30, top 40 within a very short time period, similar to some of the other collegiate players that have graduated recently.
Yep.
The talent is 100% there, and he always was a great junior growing up as well, and he continued that in his career into collegiate squash as well.
His brother is also a very good player.
His brother was, I think, top 20 in the world.
Yeah.
Fairly recently after graduating St. Lawrence. fantastic player as well. Really tall fella.
Speaking of height, you know about height. What are you, 6'3"?
I'm 6'3", but I'm
6'3"?
pretty sure Amir, Khalifa's brother, he must be at least 6'5", and I know he's taken his hand to the doubles court as he's now moved recently to New York. So we'll be looking out for that Khalifa duo at some point, I'm sure, which could be quite troublesome for a lot of players. It's interesting seeing Zach take quite a few balls off the back. Usually Bamba covers quite a lot of those back balls, but you can see Zach really trying to implement himself in the game here and get himself hitting a few more shots and trying to get comfortable and kind of force the issue a little bit here, which is definitely a tactical change to the first game.
There's that Philadelphia again. Got it back this time. Nice defensive lob. You know, this court, as you mentioned, it has the beam, which makes getting height and getting the ball over your opponents tricky, but I'm very impressed with the way both teams are trying to use height to get the ball behind their opponents.
Most definitely, you can see Bamba and Alexander just hyping each other up a little bit there, giving each other a little bump.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely been a little bit more use of that almost 50% pace sort of ball that
exactly
breaks into that side wall and actually stays in the back. So even if it's got a lot of energy on it, at least they're hitting the ball from that back corner rather than actually playing around the middle. I always like to think when I'm playing on the tour is,
well, that was a great shot.
You
Nice
want to be attacking when you're leaning forward, right?
Yep.
And whichever team's leaning forward and attacking the ball is probably going to win most of the games. But if you're leaning back and trying to attack from the wrong spots, like myself and my partner yesterday, you're in trouble.
He got hit. Now that's interesting. Look over on the far right of that picture there. That would be Mr. James Stout watching the match here.
I think he might even be on the line there. I was speaking to him in the locker room. He said he loves squash that much that he wanted to be a ref in the line as well. See who he might be playing if they make the final. Oh, that's wild from Bamba.
Stayed in though.
Putting Zach in
But this is one where you talk about leaning forward and leaning back. Right now, blue's leaning forward and white is leaning back. And as you said, the leaning forward team won that point.
Yeah, Lucky kind of forced it a little bit too early there, Alexander.
But this game is much more of what I was expecting the match to be. A little bit back and forth.
Great shots, point for point. Callis in front of the middle court line there, returning that serve from Alexander.
Yeah, another attempt to Philly.
Good angle. A little bit erratic from Bamba there. He needs to kind of get this ball under control. He can't give Khalifa that time off the back wall.
Good lob. Oh no!
What do we have here? Did that ball maybe hit him on the way through? I'm not sure what happened.
I think it was an error.
Just looks like an error, yep.
Another conference is going on back down in the back of the court. That's why there's a delay here. Again,
I think it's obviously Bamba and Alexander showing the importance of not losing this game here. They've really got to figure out how to get back into this before it runs away from them.
Yeah, it's funny. It's just a 2-point lead, but you're down a game and that 2 points, and you're at the midpoint of this game. All those things start to feel a lot bigger than it may initially seem.
Most definitely, and these guys definitely know that. So next couple of points, they really need to knuckle down and get this to 8-all.
God, that's a great shot by Khalifa, and it was out by...
I'm surprised he even got a racket on that. It was so quick.
It was so quick. Khalifa's bringing the heat today.
He must have a dinner reservation. He's mean in business here.
That's going to be just a let.
Callis.
9-6. 9-6, Ash.
It's go time for the guys in white. They've got to hold on here.
They
So
really do, because if they go down 2-zip.
ooh,
Wow, that was a great shot.
great angle, found the
Look at this,
space.
Found the space.
Both players
Literally
going
just out of the racket reach of both players. Almost a perfect spot.
Still, I don't think we've seen any emotion from Callis. He's just out there, just nailing the ball to his targets. You just see there, Callis looking very relaxed, standing over the ball. There's a lot of balls that are flying through the back of the court here, and giving the team in blue to really start initiating a lot of their attacks. So putting white on the back foot continuously, it seems, at the moment. But great shot there from Bamba. And they're back in this.
They are, just when they needed to be, because at 6-9 it was looking like they might be letting it get away, but they have gotten this right back to within a point.
Again, ball coming off the back wall, putting the team in white on the back foot.
But also, Sam's having to go to the back a little bit more too. I think they're doing a better job of getting the ball up or around than they were earlier.
He's not getting as many cross-court volleys short, which is a big difference. Oh, what a shot there.
Nice.
Little ballerina
Wow.
move there
Yeah,
from
like literally
Alexander.
off of 1 foot. Just
good
sort of
to
like
see.
almost diving into that shot. Beautiful.
Maybe a sigh of relief from Zach, I think, there that one flew in as he planned.
All right, 9-0. And I think, if I'm reading you right, Ash, I think we're both feeling like White really, really, really needs this game desperately.
Most definitely. I think this changes the entire trajectory of the game. If White can sneak this here.
That's in the last 4 points, that's 4 winners. No errors by Callis and Khalifa, but 4 winners by Bamber and Alexander. So that's a good sign.
I think that's what they've got to do, right? This is a great team that they're playing against. It's not going to give them anything. They've got to go take it. So fair play to the team in white for pulling up their socks and getting stuck in here. It's another error.
Well, that was the first one of the last 5 points. That was the first one that was really narrow. And I would even call that a forced
That was a force error, yeah, I would say. The last thing you want to do as a team in blue, though, is get the home favorites and the crowd involved.
Yeah, they've done a good job of keeping the crowd mostly out of it so far. That is White.
Just starting to get in front again here. Ball from Khalifa landing in the middle.
Uh-oh, trouble.
Bamba scampering. That's when he's dangerous, most dangerous.
Little cat and mouse going on between Khalifa and Bamber there. Oh, he was going for it.
A little bit lazy with the footwork here from Jim. Just kind of tried to make the magic happen with the racket. Needed to move his feet.
You're right. Those feet stayed very planted in a very wide open position. Hard to hit a backhand from that with those feet in that position.
Definitely noticed the feet. My partner and roommate Tor Kristofferson. He has the heaviest feet in the world.
Another
from Sweden.
tall guy. How tall is Tor? He's
6'2", I think, as well. So he's up there.
Yeah, when we were watching you guys play yesterday, there were a lot of tall people on the court. 3 of you were all well over 6 feet.
Yeah, definitely. Interesting here. Just questioning the pickup. Great hands there from Khalifa, putting Zach in a tough spot. Oh, great shot from Bamba there.
That was a big point.
Good adjustment there on his heels a little bit as well. Decided to rip the free wall around. Taking a bit of a gamble with Khalifa flying up the court, but he backed himself and got the ball in the nick. And I think that's how Team in White are going to take this. You've got Zach, who obviously loves to shoot and hit a lot of winners, but when Bamba can sprinkle in his skill set and his movement and his winners as well, they become a real nightmare team to play against.
Wow.
Ooh.
Might have been a let. Are they saying let? Nope.
No lad, yeah.
No
I
lad.
thought that was a little bit far away from Zach there. It was more of a hopeful ask than
It was
a
like,
guarantee.
oh, the ball's down the middle. Maybe I can get a let.
There's nothing worse than looking down the middle and looking kind of for your partner to hope he's there and he's not there. Both guys missing that one.
Okay, 12-11. Can't emphasize enough to all of you how important this game is for White, but that now evens it up at 12-all.
Fantastic winner under pressure and a big point there from Khalifa.
These last few points of this game are really going to determine a lot of how the rest of this match goes. These next 3 points.
So this tournament so far, anyone who gets to 14-12
Seems to
lose 15-14. So hopefully for the Team in White, they don't get to 14-12. Hopefully it's 14-13.
You guys had a 15-14 game yesterday, I believe.
We were 14-all in the first game, and I said to my partner Tor, I said, if I get any opening, I'm going to take it in. And luckily managed to get a loose serve and win the point there and then, because I didn't want to give them the chance.
And just to remind people, Ashley Davies and Tor Christofferson were playing against Stout and Arnold. And speaking of Arnold, there he is, right on the left of the picture right there.
What do you reckon he's listening to? Well,
He's probably listening to some psych music, I'm guessing. He's also another tall man. Is he taller than you?
yeah, I believe so. He's
6'4", maybe?
tall Aussie with a big, powerful forehand. All the Aussies, for some reason, seem to have fantastic swings that are built for doubles, it seems. Or with the crisp hitting and accuracy. It's good heat from Bamba.
Wow.
A little bit of interference. You see Khalifa every single time looking to get onto that forehand.
You can see the intensity has gone up here. It's 13-12.
It's good hands there from Callis.
But now, according to you, Ash, they're at that dreaded 14-12 lead.
We shall see.
This has been, just throughout this tournament, there have been a lot of 15-14 games. And as Ashley said, mostly during this tournament, the team that's had the lead, including in the first round, Stout and Arnold being down 14-12 in the fifth and then coming back and winning at 15-14.
There's one cheap
There's
error.
one, 14-13.
There was discussion in the locker room between a lot of the players regarding this, saying that they would prefer to be 14-12 down than be 14-12 up, just purely because they feel that sometimes you go quite negative if you're up with the lead and kind of let the other team trying to lose it. So interesting to see how this one plays out. Ooh. Good reset
Nice
there
lob.
from Bamba. Very well
Very
done.
good lob.
Giving Zach the chance. Oh, and that's in the top of the 10.
Oh, Ash, are you going to be right? The 14-12 jinx. Oh, no.
Really did not expect that coming from the racket of Alexander in the middle like that.
I will
Very
confess that
uncharacteristic.
I'm rooting for White to win this game just because I want to see more squash. I'm afraid that if they lose this game, this match might end soon.
Oh, that's a great pickup there from Bamba. Oh,
There
but
it is. Wow, you
again-
were right. 14-12 lead down to a 15-14 game. Unbelievable. Wow.
it's this court. It's cursed. We don't want to be 14-12.
That's a big turnaround, and that's for the home fans. It's really a bummer because they're really rooting for White like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this: Bamber and Alexander will not give up. They will be putting their heads together and trying to figure out exactly what to do. Interesting now. Monik Mahur is over here talking to Callis and Khalifa. That's a pretty good coach to have.
I don't say you couldn't have anyone much better, really. Yeah, I think from White, the performance there was better for sure. They figured out how to get the ball in front. They got a lot more opportunities in front of their opponents. But when you get to 14-12, you have to take that chance against a team that's as good as Callis and Khalifa. You really have to be on your game, and you can't afford slip-ups. So I'm going to be intrigued to see how they try and get back into this game here.
And one of the ways they got to 14-12 was by Zach in particular really going for his shots.
Yeah,
He did go for one there, but he wasn't quite set up. It was almost a little bit of
just a little off balance.
just a little bit off balance. Having said that, remember he hit that one where he was almost like a ballet dancer.
Exactly.
He had a beautiful winner. So what's off balance for him is maybe for other mere mortals not so bad. But it's going to be interesting to see whether they can get going here and sort of really capture the third game. And it's going to be interesting to see if Callis and Khalifa can keep up the intensity, because they came into this match looking ready, looking prepared with a game plan, and they've executed it really well. And even there, when they got resistance in that last game, they sort of hung in there and really tried to.
Yeah, they did a great job there, really holding on and kind of weathering the storm. The crowd obviously got behind the White team, as you would expect, being home favorites. So I don't think that their level is going to drop. I think Bamber and Alexander have really got to come up trumps and up their level again if they can here. Because I don't think there's going to be any cheap stuff coming from the team in blue, given their quality of racket ability and squash talent. So it's going to be an interesting third game here. Definitely want to see White get their teeth stuck in, and let's get ourselves a bit more squash, as you say, Will.
This is another one where the start of this game is going to say a lot.
It's going to be pivotal.
It's going to say a lot about where Bamber and Alexander's heads are. Are they feeling discouraged? Are they feeling resolute? How are they going to come out here?
And I'll be intrigued to see their body language at the start of this one. How are they going to come out the gates? They've got to kind of show positivity for me and really believe, because if you're going to beat a team as good as this from 2-love down, you've got to go and win a 3-love match against a top team, right? So you've got to look like you're really up for this.
And I don't know if you just saw it, but Khalifa was looking up into the crowd and waving and smiling to somebody. So in terms of pressure, he's not feeling it right now. He's feeling good, feeling relaxed.
Khalifa, he's so confident in his abilities. He's such a nice guy as well.
All right, here we are. Team in blue, the number 3 seeds, are up 2 games to love on the number 1 seeds, who are the team in white. And Chris Callis is serving. Sam Khalifa is his teammate. On the right-hand side in white is Jim Bamber, the head of squash here, the director of squash. And his partner is Zach Alexander on the left. And they are in trouble at this point.
Oh, lovely
That's a
winner
nice
there.
shot.
Lovely winner from Bamba. Good dexterity in the hands there as well. He even surprised himself. You could see the way he was walking up the court there.
There's some question going on for the referee.
Checking the ball, maybe. Just a quick look. Khalifa couldn't believe that Bamber had hit it so short.
Something must be wrong with that ball.
Only Sam can hit the ball that short.
Exactly.
Cheap error there from Bamba. Come on.
I liked the idea that he might shoot a bit more, but he's got to do it when he's really ready.
And I think you're so right there, Will. I think when you get to this level, and obviously every player on there is so talented, it all comes down to hitting the right shot at the right time and having the comfortability in the moment to hit the right spot.
Trouble. Nice dodge by Zach.
Zach showing off his ballerina skills again, and then following it up with a lovely reverse.
It's the kind of shooting that they need here. You can hear the crowd. I really am impressed with the way Team Blue has taken the steam out of the crowd, because the crowd here can go bananas.
You've given them very little to feed off. Obviously, a little bit of traffic there.
They get a let. Well, so far I'm liking. It doesn't look to me like Bamber and Alexander are discouraged. They're out here still trying to figure it out, which is good.
Most definitely, and they definitely have the ability between them to win a game 3 love against a team of this level. So I'm sure they've got every ounce of belief that they can get back into this.
Now, I don't know if you saw, but when that error just happened, Bamber just sort of almost hopped up to the ball, so he's definitely trying to infuse himself with positivity here. And what a difference so far. This is by far the best start of the 3 games for Team White. The question is it too late?
Oh, that's a fantastic winner. If it was a winner.
Yep.
Just casual from Khalifa. Didn't even react. Just strolled off and went and wiped his hand.
Just hit a backhand.
Flat reverse.
Overhead.
It's good heat
Look
again.
at that, too, yeah. I think that was almost the same prep as hitting that short little ball.
And a really, really good reverse there again.
And that was, he's almost fading away from the ball as he hit it. He just let it go.
You'll see with Khalifa as well, like the way he holds the racket, he's only really gripping it at impact. His hands are loose, he's like got a slinky in his arm. And I guess that's where the dexterity and the touch really comes from. It allows him to bring that head speed through the ball.
That was one of Hashim Khan's things, to hold the racket like a bird, just tight enough so it doesn't fly away, but not so tightly that you kill it.
That's definitely
that. Wow.
It's good heat again up in that front left.
And also, watch the spot here. It's right exactly in the perfect place to get around Bamber.
Breaking perfectly into that right wall. And just like that, they've negated that good start that Team White came out
4-1 lead is all gone. And now this is really, so you're down 2 love, you start off well, but then they catch up. If you are going to keep focused, this is really the place you have to do it. And that's a great shot. Look at that shot. Inside out forehand, just like you said.
Not one person saw that on the court other than Zach. Outrageous angle.
But he got applause from both opponents on that shot.
Sometimes you just got to take your hat off, right, and applaud a good shot.
It's something I admire about Callis, is I feel like he does that a lot. He's like, well, okay, that was too good. Just like, he'll clap, and then he moves on and just digs in.
Yeah, definitely, and like you say, it's a great attribute to have, because it can kind of settle you and just prepare you for the next point.
I feel like Callis is one of the people that's least flustered out on the tour.
Probably because he's won so many matches.
Well, I believe that he is ranked #1.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's been #1 before. This is not he's been #1 a few times.
Past couple of years, he's kind of been around that one spot, sharing it with obviously James Stout, James Bamber as well.
Yep.
A couple of big points here, hopefully for Bamber and Alexander. I'd like to see Jim really kind of get Zach fired up. couple of big rallies, get the crowd involved, and really try and turn this back around.
Lob. Wow.
Just not quite getting it on his racket. I'd like to see Bamba kind of getting that pace through low and hard onto Khalifa.
It's interesting that Khalifa has actually gotten now a couple of winners on his cross-court backhands to Bamber. It's not something I would. That was not something I would have predicted before this match.
Like there, he's getting him on the back foot, right?
Yep.
Can't give him the front though. Callis up onto that early, read the ball.
Yep.
Big points here for Team White. You're pushing the panic button. As you can see, Bamba noticing that and getting conversation in with Zach just to reset on the game plan. Zach just looking to kind of control that pace from the middle, which he does so well. A cheap loose error there from Callis. Didn't anticipate that.
He makes so few errors. That's a good moment for White.
A little blip in concentration.
That's a great lob. Nice defense by Callis. Khalifa definitely thinks there's something about going hard over cross court. He's playing that ball a lot.
That's a good line.
Got it down the middle again, but I think
we might have a lot here.
Yeah, I think he may have made contact with Callis. Bamber may have made contact with Callis on the backswing.
So that ball being played here.
Yep. 7-all. Oof. It's really nitty-gritty time for Team White. And again, just to remind everybody,
cheap error as well. So both
White are the #1 seeds here.
Both the last 2 points coming off an error from Team Blue's racket. So just giving them a sniff, keeping them in this here. And you can hear the crowd.
Now the crowd's starting to get into it. Look at them.
It really feels Zach's at his best when he's getting up in front of that red line and really kind of holding and controlling the pace with that lift, whilst then ripping winners at the right time. Just starting to do that here a little bit.
That's trouble. Nice.
Oh, it's an opening. It's the heat coming from Khalifa on the back end again. Oh,
wow.
What a get
nice
from Bamba.
Get. Another good get.
Bamba really does bring that other element to the game because only him. Oh,
wow.
That'll knock the wind out of the sails. A slam dunk there from Callis.
Because it's almost like that point was really, well, it went back and forth, but
it looked like it was trending towards White, though, didn't it?
At the end, it did, and then all of a sudden, that shot out of nowhere by Callis. It's a great shot. We have to give him credit where credit's due, and a big moment for it. Now makes it 8-all.
It's good defense from Khalifa, getting himself back up there. Well straightened
out. There we go.
Just shows the cross court here and then straightens up last minute.
And you can
Bamba's
see
movement.
that Bamber's weight was just slightly oriented to go to the middle of the court. And
very subtle,
yep.
Subtle quality there from Callis. As a player, you know the feeling when your knees just go the wrong way.
It's brutal.
Oh, it's a great line though from Alexander.
Oof. Are we headed down to another overtime game here?
definitely more of the level of squash that we anticipated from the very first point, this, isn't it?
Yeah. This game has been the highest quality game. Second game was good. This one's higher quality than that, though.
So again, it's good. It's good break and width from Khalifa. He's really putting it in tough spots for Jim on the right wall.
And now they think the ball is broken.
Zach looks like he's out of some sort of movie with his tinted shades.
Now, broken ball? Who does this favor right now?
I think potentially, probably Khalifa and Callis.
Yeah.
They seem to be hitting the ball quite well, but both teams can play with pace. It's going to be more who deals with the new ball better.
How about the break at 9-all here in the third game? Does that, in terms of mental game?
I think loosely, if I was Callis and Khalifa, I would want to keep rolling. They're 2-love up, obviously 9-all. Let's try and get it off the board. But it gives this chance to Alexander and Bamba to kind of reset completely and really give a good go at this. You've got 6 points, right? Race to 6 points to survive.
6 points to survive. I like that. That could be a name of a book. 6 points to survive.
So yeah, it's kind of a pivotal part of the match, and again, it's going to lean on who deals with the moment the best, which is kind of the fine margins of all these semi-final matches with the level of guys who are playing. So we'll see. I'm not sure. Bamba does like to smash the ball around, so maybe you can get some heat, but Khalifa's been crunching that ball up in the front left, and we all know that Callis just continuously crunches the ball. So
I feel like a new ball in doubles, if you're a shooter, you like that new ball. I feel like you can get it to lie down just a little bit better than when it gets a little bit rubbery.
A little bit grippier, yeah.
So if Zach can sort of look at this as a positive, of course, we've also got Sam who can also shoot like crazy. So we'll see what happens here. Lots of interest here. 2-love for the number 3 seeds, looking to upset not only the number 1 seeds, but the hometown hero. And they've been playing very well, the team in blue. They have not lost a game yet this tournament, much less this match. And the question is, are they going to 6 points to victory, or is it going to be 6 points to a 4th game?
Yeah, how do you want to play this? If you're team blue, do you want to go and try and take it? Do you want to be aggressive and kind of ask Khalifa to try and carve a few winners, or do you kind of let them kind of bring it to you? It's be interesting to see what they do here. Opening here for White.
Again, he hits that lob so nicely.
Good volley there from Callis up high, and he's gone for it. Just a lap there, just a little bit of interference on the backswing there for Bamba.
Oof.
For Callis, sorry.
I'm tense. I'm telling you. Nine all, third game. White must win.
It's good heat again from Callis. Good angles. Ooh, that was a
let.
That was going to be a hot one in the back there for Zach, I think.
Yeah.
Definitely don't want to see anyone getting drilled today, if we can avoid it. You see both teams just jousting for that middle with this new ball. It's flying through the court. Big chance. Opening. And we got the heat.
Yep.
Yeah. Great pace there from Callis. Just behind Alexander. Couldn't move in time.
That was four really heavy pace balls by Callis sort of in a row there.
the most impressive thing from Callis is just the consistency of strike. For me, he just hits the ball with the same sort of weight every single time. No real kind of change. And he always hits his spots. Oh, what a pickup there from Khalifa. Oh, 2 bounces from
Oh, he's
Sam.
calling on himself. That's good sportsmanship, too.
Always good to see the crowd acknowledge that as well, especially with it going in favor of Team White.
All right, we were just at 9-all. Now we're at 10-all. Is it going to be point for point all the way to the end here?
I just hope that Team White don't get 14-12 up. You'd hate to see that.
Just to remind everybody, that's what happened in the first or the second game. And Ashley did say that that's a dangerous position, and it turned out to be, because they lost the game 15-14.
A lot of energy here. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot. Two conferences, both teams sensing the importance of the moment.
Ooh, Zach just getting lost of sight there, but that ball being played.
That was a good call for Alette there, because he was in trouble.
Ball spraying up a little bit. It's just getting a little bit in the middle here, but tight ball there.
Trouble.
Oh, and it's the
That's
touch
just
again.
It's just beautiful. I mean, the way he, with his forehand, those drop shots, and he does it to both sides. He can hit that forehand to the right front corner or to the left front corner. He just gets it to die. Okay, Khalifa and Callis now 4 points away from moving on to the finals. Can they make the finals without having lost a game in this whole tournament? Or are we poised for a big comeback?
Very impressive if they can get this match off in
Wow.
3, but big heat there from Alexander off the middle.
And look at that spot. Perfect spot.
See Bamba hyping up his man there.
Yep.
Love to see that, get the crowd involved.
11-all.
Opportunity here, well hit there from Zach.
I think we've been at 7-all, 8-all, 9-all, 10-all, and 11-all so far in this game.
So you're saying this one's a tight one?
It has really been point for point.
Team White looking to really put on some pressure here. Oh, just getting it back, Zach. Great hands.
Wow. That ball down the middle has been really effective for both teams, but more for Team Blue.
That's the
But
second.
once again, they're up 12-11 here. I'm sorry, Ashley, you said that's the second?
I think that's the second time that they've found that angle where they had
Yeah.
Jim and Zach both half covering it, but just getting it right down the middle of both of them. Really good a find of an angle from Callis.
Super important point here.
Oh, it's a cheap error there from Zach.
Oh, wow.
Just trying to force it. Continue.
11, and the crowd goes silent.
It's just a continuous mirage of pressure coming from Team Blue. They're just consistent. They're not giving them anything, right? Very clinical performance here so far.
Been very impressed with Khalifa's mixture of both power and shot making.
It's good heat. Oh,
wow.
finding the cross-court net.
Wow, watch this, it just rolls right into that crack.
See him flatten over the ball as well.
All right, we're here at triple match point.
Oh, hopefully they can get it to 14-12. Big point here. Team White going to throw everything at it here. It's the last roll of the dice for this team. Good dodge.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a fitting winner.
Unbelievable. All right, well, Ash, I'm going to leave you to it because I'm going to run down there and go interview the winner. So I'll see you guys on court in just a second.
First of all, congratulations. That's a big win. You've taken out the hometown fans here a little bit, but also the hometown favorites. Tell me what you thought you did really well today.
I mean, this is one of the toughest matches to play in this tournament. Basically, beforehand, we talked about how we needed to keep the ball really deep. You know, both of them counter really well, so we have to make sure that they're kind of like tapping the court, play patient, and then take the opportunities when they come.
One of the things that I noticed, particularly from you today, is you're a beautiful shot maker, but you hit the ball really hard and blasted it past Jim a bunch of times. That wasn't a game plan that I was expecting from you. Is that something you thought about going in?
Absolutely not. I didn't expect it to play that hard. You know, at some point you're just kind of like adrenaline sticking, you go in the front, and then you just close your eyes and hit as hard as you can sometimes. And, you know, it worked a few times today, so I'll plan on keeping that up.
Let me talk to Chris for just a second here. First of all, I see some blood. Are you, is that yours? Bleeding a little bit? Who knows where it's coming from? All right, yeah. All right. Chris, you've obviously won this tournament before. You've been in the finals here. Tell me what it means to get back to the finals again here in Brooklyn.
I mean, it's huge here, you want to take it. Okay. It's so much fun playing this event. It's one of the ones that we all get super jacked up for. You know, even in the beginning of the season, you're looking forward to the Johnson. And, you know, it's the best atmosphere and the most fun. So it's fantastic to come back and get through the finals once again. Especially, I mean, it's tough playing Bamber here. He obviously is the hometown hero. And he took it to me in the finals last year, so it feels pretty good to get one back on him. But those guys are such good players. You know, however you can win, it takes both of us playing fantastic on any day to have a shot against them. And luckily we both did it. I mean, we played them a couple weeks ago. We played amazing, and I felt like Sam especially just took it to a whole nother gear in this match versus some of those other big matches we've had. It's amazing his improvement curve out here, just picking it up so quickly, so many dead reverses. You know, this time last year it was all drops from Sam, but the reverse is so good. A couple of roll corners. It's ridiculous for him to be playing at this level against these type of players with so little experience doing so.
Just wanted to ask you, you know, James Stout and Scott were both watching this match. Are you guys going to watch the next match, or are you going to go take care of your bodies?
Well, given that we're supposed to ref, I think we'll stick around. But it's going to be an awesome match next on, so I'll definitely stick around and watch it. You know, I don't know if it'll be to scope out the next opponent, more so to just like enjoy the atmosphere and watch us.
All right, well, we will see you guys here tomorrow. Chris and Sam in the finals. The left wall player was the tour's most improved player in 2018. He won the 2022 U.S. Nationals doubles title and the 2022 Buffalo title and LA mixed doubles title. He's now the pro at the Minneapolis Club, but before that, he was the pro right here at the Heights Casino. Please welcome SDA number 11, Adam Hughes. His partner grew up in Scotland, but he's been a prominent doubles player since winning the 2015 U.S. National Doubles title. He's a former partner of one of today's opponents, James Stout, and they won multiple titles together. Yesterday, he not only handled the pace of Cameron Briley, but matched it stroke for stroke. He was charmed when we posted his current ranking at the luncheon, so let's just say that he's damn good. Please welcome Greg MacArthur. The next team are our number 2 seeds, and they were our champions right here 2 years ago. They've made it to the semis by the skin of their teeth, fighting off 3 match balls in their first round against Chris Sackby and El Rey Leon, winning 15-14 in the 5th game, and then took out Ashley Davies and Tor Christofferson in a hard-hitting 3-1 match yesterday. The left wall player rarely seemed rushed yesterday despite the hard hitting. Maybe that's because of his 12 undefeated years as World Racket Champion, or the fact that he's our 3-time defending champion, Jurgen Johnson. He clearly loves this sport. Please welcome, representing both Bermuda and New York track tennis, number 2 SDA, James Stout. And his partner on the right wall, both playing singles in Australia, made it to number 54 on the PSA Singles Tour. He's a former number 1 here on the SDA Tour, and he was part of last year's Team of the Year. Some say he is the most feared right waller in the game today. Please welcome SDA number 4, Scott Arnold.
mentioned the other day they had players' names and their ranking next to it. And when I finally asked him the question, he said, before I say anything else, I'd just like to thank everybody for putting all of our rankings on these things. And everybody then looked and saw that it was 56, because obviously not indicative of what kind of player he is. Not that 56 is terrible, but he's a top 5,
Yep.
top 10, top 5 player, not in the 50s.
Yeah, Greg has really been to the top of the game, and obviously played in many big finals. Actually partnering with James Stout, who's on the left wall, and his opponent in
Yep.
today's match. So
They won a bunch of titles together, too.
yeah, exactly. So always interesting to see how the different pairing dynamics work out. And yeah, I agree with you, Will. I think this could be a 3-1 either way. I think if it does go to 5, I'm not sure who will win, because obviously there's been a lot of tough matches in both teams' legs. So.
So we apologize that the score is not visible on the screen. Right now it is 4 serving 5, so it's close in this first game. And we'll try and just keep track of the score as we go along in case it doesn't come back on screen.
Obviously, Stout and Arnold here looking to kind of work Adam Hughes on that left wall, obviously being the backhand side. Trying not to give Greg MacArthur on the right any easy opportunities, as he's well known for putting the ball away himself. Stout, obviously one of the world's best, or the world's best rackets player, and has a whole arsenal of tricks up his sleeve.
And just so people know what rackets is it's actually the precursor to squash. It's played on a court that's actually similarly sized to a doubles court, the court you're looking at. But the walls, instead of being made of wood, are all slate. And the ball, as hard as a doubles ball is, it's nothing compared to a rackets ball, which has the consistency almost of a golf ball. And the rackets are also much heavier. And he was world champion for, I think, something like 13 years in a row.
Yep.
And he basically retired undefeated. I mean, he retired and said, I'm not going to play anymore, but he hadn't lost. He just retired as the champion. So he's, he was the best in the world and certainly one of the all-time greats in rackets history. And it's one of the reasons why I always think it's funny that sometimes people try to blast the ball through him, because he looks small and he looks like maybe he's not going to be able to handle it. But the rackets ball goes even faster than the doubles ball by a lot, and he's fairly used to speed. So it's not really going to intimidate him. That's a great shot by Scott Arnold.
Yeah, and circling back to that, obviously James, having been world #1 as well, he's just an all-round fantastic athlete and player, right?
Yep.
Incredible talent with the racket. Looks like he's walking around with a wand out there sometimes, as I felt the wrath of yesterday.
Yeah, so just to remind people, you and your partner, Tor Christofferson, played against Stout and Arnold, and you actually took the first game. And the other 3 were all around 10, I believe, 9 or 10 points. So you were in that match, and I think they started to look good by the end. But I thought the first part of that match, you guys were actually dominating a lot of the match.
Yeah, we really tried to come out and obviously enforce our game plan on the guys, knowing that they're obviously so talented and didn't want to let them settle. We had hit a lot of winners in that first game to come through. My partner Tor actually after the match said we lost every game by 5 after that because we didn't hit the other 5 winners that we hit in the first. So just kind of testimony to how good of a team they really are. We really had to put in 9 outright winners just to get that first game. So good pairing, seasoned pairing. As all the guys on this court here are very well seasoned, great SDA players. but definitely a good learning curve, that's for sure.
Well, this is the best start of any of the matches that Stout and Arnold have played yet this tournament. Adam and Greg are a good team, and they're being outclassed here at the start of this match.
It's nice to see them coming out as well and having a good start. I know obviously against us they didn't have the quickest of starts and obviously struggled a little bit in their first round with Elroy and Sackley. So really,
who by the way played brilliantly.
Played lights out and played a fantastic match. But yeah, the first two rounds for these guys, they haven't been too fast out the blocks, so I'm sure they'll be really happy with how they start this semi-final here. Great shot there by Buse. And again, fantastic court coverage and
wow
from Buse, but not good enough.
Watch this, just right down the middle, found the gap, hit it hard, right next to his opponent, to his partner's feet, which was a perfect place for the ball.
Yeah, White really could be in trouble if these guys kind of settle into a nice rhythm early, especially with the weapons and the ability that both Scott and James have.
Wow. It's a great reflex volley. Now, the crowd is thinned out a little bit, although there's still a good crowd here, but you know, the reality is that Bamber was the children's favorite, and the children filled up the stands in a lot of the first match here. They left a little disappointed. Some of the older people will remember that Adam Buse, who's on the left wall in the white, wearing the headband, was the pro here also just a few years ago, and taught a lot of the adults and juniors, particularly in doubles. So he's got some fans here as well, but he's not current, and so the young ones, they're going to go with who's current here. And they also like the fact they had the Bam Zander shirts.
Fantastic shirts. Nice little touch there as well.
Yep. All right, that's the first game. That is a good start for Stout and Arnold, who, again, just to remind you all, are our number 2 seeds. And if we're going on world ranking, they are the number 2 and number 4 players. So actually, in terms of if we went on current ratings, I think they might have been seeded number 1.
Yep.
But they're going to be playing against the number 3 seeds, who are Chris Callis, or if they win this match in the finals. Whoever wins this match are waiting Chris Callis and Sam Khalifa, who are currently ranked number 1 and number 6. So I think if we went on ratings, that this team, Stout and Arnold, would have been seeded number 1, and Chris and Sam would have been seeded number 2, and Jim and Zach would have been seeded. Let's see, they are 3 and 5, so it would have been close.
Yep.
All 3 of those teams are close.
All top teams, yep.
All top teams.
But yeah, it was a difficult start there for obviously the Scotsman. Getting kind of controlled early, lots of magic coming from the racket of Stout, and some clinical hitting from Arnold as well. So I think they're really going to have to figure out how are they going to get those guys behind them. I hate to sound like a broken record, but if they can get those guys behind them and kind of limit the opportunities that are coming across the racket of Stout, obviously incredibly skillful player across the middle, and kind of get Scott working around the court a little bit more, maybe they can get some success, but it's looking pretty one-way traffic right now, right?
Well, the thing that scares me a little bit for Adam and Greg is that Stout and Arnold looked confident in that game. Maybe the most confident they've looked in the tournament so far. And, all right, I think we're about to get it going again here. So we'll come back to the court. And the team in black, they're the number 2 seeds, and they won the first game fairly decisively, 15-6. Team in white has a challenge. We have a local hero on the left, on the white. He's Adam Buse, who is a pro here for a few years, now pro in Minneapolis, and his partner Greg MacArthur on the right. And they've got work to do to get into this match, because in that first game, Stout and Arnold looked the most comfortable they looked all tournament. However, that is a nice start by Adam Buse, the nice cross-court winner.
Just catching Team Black here off guard, on their heels a little bit.
I think that's a great way to start, just to see whether the team that won easily is actually ready.
Yeah, definitely. Always good to come in positive as well. We'll be intrigued to see how Greg's body holds up. Obviously not playing so much on the SCA Pro Tour, as he's currently taking a little break and playing a lot of his squash up at Sleepy Hollow Country Club. So interested to see how his body holds up after the tough game yesterday. Especially with all the pace and I'm sure the movements.
Oh. Wow. A reverse volley, three wall, Nick. It's a pretty good shot.
Pretty creative.
And also, he hit it decisively. It was not an accidental shot.
Definitely.
He was going for it.
You see Arnold and Stout really kind of use that height, trying to get the ball up high on Adam Hughes' backhand, trying to limit his options from up there and kind of work in front and back here. Not many balls go into the racket easily of Greg MacArthur unless it's a tough ball working him in like that or it's at his body. And again,
I think that's going to be a let.
Yep. Simple let there.
Now, one of the things I've noticed is when teams have a very tall player, so let's say a tall with a less tall, not like you and Tor who are both tall. But I feel like almost always the really tall player is on the right.
Mm-hmm. Definitely seems to be common. That's for sure.
I think
obviously
of Pili and Cuskelly, same thing, although Cuskelly's a lefty, so that's part of that. But is there something about tall players and forehands? Is that part of what's going on there?
I couldn't really tell you. It's important to remember one of the best left wallers that's played the game, Manik Lafleur, obviously very tall chap who obviously dominated that left wall. Maybe it's just forehands. Anyone who plays on the backhand. And tends to be a little bit shorter, but
well, this is a better start for Hughes and MacArthur, even though it's very early. These points are much longer than they were in the first game.
Trying to get Scott moving there.
Almost at another reverse three wall.
Oh, it's good hands there from Scott.
Nice get, though, by Hughes. And another nice get by Hughes, but that's going to be a stroke, I believe.
I would agree.
Right back at himself. Stout had nowhere to go.
So 3-1. Again, starting to build a little bit of a lead early here.
Better points, though, to start off with.
You're in trouble when James Stout's looking relaxed like that. Just casually carving the ball in.
Dropping it in there. Cross-court volley, drop Nick. No problem.
Good answer from Hughes,
yep.
though.
Good answer.
It's the last place you want James Stout, though. Stood comfortable on that middle of the court there. He's going to put the ball away every time.
Yeah, he was 6 feet in front of the red line and just came right out in the open. That's going to be a winner.
That was one of the big things when we were playing against him yesterday is you don't want a player like James Stout, who's so skillful, or a Sam Khalifa, to have time to settle. Because the way he's came out here, he looks very relaxed. He's hit a couple winners early, and now he's completely able to kind of find his rhythm and just kind of attack the front of the court, which makes it incredibly difficult for obviously any team that's playing against him, and allows Scott to loosen up as well.
Well, after a nice start with the first couple points going long and actually having a 2-1 lead, it is now 7-2. So, as you and I both said, the team in black, if they're confident, it can be big trouble. And despite some occasionally brilliant shots from MacArthur and Hughes, this still feels like this is big time trouble for them.
It's similar to that first game as well. Like obviously for Greg and Hughes here, they're obviously going to be very aware that they don't want to be too loved down against a team with such weapons, right, and such skill, and that's just absolutely absurd from James Stout, just poking the ball straight into a flat roll in Nick. Again, similar to Khalifa on that left wall, just strolling off it as if it's just another shot But I will remind everyone at home that is not easy.
Yeah.
Great angle from Hughes, but well covered. Just knows the angles inside out, as you can see there from Stout.
Oh, nice lob.
Making Adam do a lot of work here back in front, a lot of stop-start. Really trying to pick apart the game of the guys in white here, similar to what they've done all tournament when they've needed to.
Wow.
Oh, and that's fantastic. Little smile from James. He can't even believe how good that shot was from Scott.
It's sort of an inside-out backhand.
Almost like a slice backhand tennis shot.
Exactly.
Straight into the neck.
Well, Scott Arnold hasn't looked this sharp this whole tournament. He looks super sharp today.
Oh, very casual and flashes of greatness there as well.
Yep.
Great hands from Greg.
And he lined up that ball. Did you see the way he really lined it up just before he hit it? He was going for that.
Greg's an interesting one. You'll see when he gets time, he really builds it up like a sledgehammer. He likes to take his racket up nice and high, really build his space, and then come pretty severely down the back of the ball, which is why he hits it so well. Really does love to get that racket up there. That's just deft touch there from Scott.
I mean, he's looking really like a complete, I mean, we know how gifted he is. He's been #1 on the tour. And as I said in my intro, if you all were watching, is that he's known as one of the most feared right wall players. And he sort of joked about it and asked Chris Callis, who was up in the stands, you know, Chris, did you hear that? And Chris said, I fear you. So, but you know, really, when he's playing well, it's a scary proposition. He's big, he's strong, but he also has touch.
Yeah, and I think that's the big point there, Will, is that you know every single time you go on court with Scott, he's going to demand that space around the middle, and he's going to hit the ball incredibly clean. But when he then partners that with the deft touch and the really soft hands and the control from that side of things, he really becomes a difficult player to play against. Almost unplayable.
That, what Greg just did against Arnold there is really the one thing that, you know, Arnold, it's not that he's quick, but he's not fast.
Yeah.
So in terms of reflexes and things like that, beautiful. But in terms of, say, from the short line to the front wall, he's not going to be one of the fastest players on tour. So if you can get that, which is hard because he plays so far up front, it's hard to get him to go deep. But if you can, that's a place where you can have some success, which MacArthur found on the last one. Having said that, this game, much like the last, feels like one-way traffic again.
Absolutely outrageous cross-court nick as well there from James Stout. Again, casually walking off the ball, but again, we all know that that isn't an easy shot for anyone to find, especially under the pressure of a semi-final like this. So, impressive stuff from the team in black.
Wow, nice shot by MacArthur again. So Greg is actually, he's shooting well, and Adams had a few too. It's just that they're not stringing together enough of them.
They're being put under a lot of pressure here, and obviously kind of forced to go for the winner, the exact winner, whereas the team in black are kind of working the ball around the angle and finishing it when it's there, but obviously applying a lot of pressure that's kind of paying off on their end here. So 13-6, very comfortable up until this point.
Just a reminder to people that James Stout in the black on the left-hand side of the court, he has won this tournament 3 times in a row. He's the 3-time defending champion with 3 different partners. However, the partner that he won it with 2 years ago is in fact the partner with whom he's playing today, Scott Arnold. So if they were to win this tournament, it would be the 4th in a row for Stout and the 2nd in 3 years for Arnold.
So what you're trying to tell me, Will, is that they like this court?
Yeah, well, Stout actually said at the press conference on Friday that he thought this was, one of the 2 or 3 best courts on the planet.
Yeah, I definitely believe him, and it definitely fosters a lot of fun squash.
Oh, did he actually get him? It looked like he got him. Did he get him? Yes.
Bullseye.
Chasing him. As he was chasing around the court, it almost looked like one of those carnival things where the little characters running across the space of the court.
The crowd absolutely love as well. Love to see someone get fired in the line of action. Just a little soft one there, no one hurt, but
No one
good,
hurt.
good for the crowd.
Stout actually laughed about it, so it's fine, and there we go. Well, we've got game balls here, a bunch of them, and checking the ball.
Yeah.
What a time for it to break if it's right here at 14-8.
It's not ideal right before the end of the second.
But I don't think it did. I think they threw it right back because otherwise they'd be warming it up. So 8 serving 14, trouble.
2 bites of the cherry there for Greg.
Oh dear.
Again, though, attacking from a deep position there, Team White, and kind of expose themselves.
It's a nice shot by MacArthur again now. Little reverse.
See Khalifa there, freshly
He's already showered and
Look-
changed. Oh my
looking,
God.
looking smart as ever.
Yeah.
I went into the changing rooms and asked him, I said, since when do you hit the ball hard and hit winners? And he said, I don't know, it's something to do with this court.
I asked him about that in the post-match interview, and I said, was that part of your game plan? He said, absolutely not. But yeah, he found it. It was really impressive.
Just sneaking back into this here, White. Interesting to see if Black can close this out right here. Chance.
There we go.
Aggressive. Yeah, you can't leave the ball in the middle there for someone like Arnold to step onto. So some drastic game plan changes here, I think, for White.
Well, I think they came out at the beginning of that game, and they definitely had a different plan. They wanted to make the points longer, but all of a sudden, they went from 2-1 down or 2-1 up to 7-2 down just in the blink of an eye. So the long points didn't work. The idea of trying to get a big lead at the start of the game didn't work. The only thing that worked really, which they did do well, was when they went for some really great shots. But to have to pull great shot after great shot against the way Stout and Arnold are playing right now, it seems unlikely.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it's difficult. There's obviously when Arnold and Stout are looking so comfortable out there, it's hard to kind of find a winner. But they've got to find a way to get back in front, and I think they've kind of got to maybe take a chance, take a few more shots on that they weren't taking on, and keep trying to get in front and trying to unsettle Stout and Arnold, because right now they're in a rhythm, right? And 2 players like that, when they get into a rhythm and they're playing together, they can be quite a force to play with. So.
Well, the players are taking a break, and we'll be back here in about another minute or so. This is the second semifinal between the number 2 seeds who are in the black, James Stout and Scott Arnold. And they are playing Adam Buse and Greg MacArthur, who are in the white. And Stout and Arnold have started off with the best start they've had all tournament. They've looked very strong in the first 2 games. And to be honest, I think the white team is in trouble. I'm Will Carlin. I'm sitting here with Ashley Davies. And Ash, I think that I feel like this is going to be a 3-love victory, to be honest with you at this point. But I'm interested to see whether white can pull up anything out of their bag of tricks.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a very dominant performance from the team in black, who have given up a couple of games on their way to the semifinals. So there's obviously a lot of talent out there for white through MacArthur and Buse. So they're really going to have to figure it out. They're going to have to do something drastic, or otherwise they could be going home early here.
One of the things that has been working well is both Greg and Adam have had occasional moments of brilliance where they're hitting something there, and you can see Adam trying to urge the crowd on. He wants to get a little pump from the crowd. The crowd was really pumped to root on James Bamber, and had Bamber won, I think a lot more people would be here and more energized. But that loss was deflating for a lot of people here, a lot of the numbers. And so some of them actually left, which is highly unusual at the Johnson. The crowd is a little bit less full than it usually is, and it's definitely more flat than it often is.
I think they've pivoted to the cocktail bar upstairs. But yeah, definitely not as rowdy as it could have been if Bamber and Alexander had won.
Wow, that's a great little.
Good
Did you see that shot by
yeah.
Stout? Sort of reached behind him with a backhand overhead to keep the ball in play.
Great line, tight ball, opens the quarter.
Oof.
I think he was going to hit Buse there, and he actually decided to redirect the ball, so giving them a cheap one there.
Well, it was still a good finishing by MacArthur. He is good at finishing if he can get the right opportunity. That's the thing that Stout and Arnold have done well, besides them finishing points very well, which they have done, but is that Adam and Greg just haven't gotten a lot of open shots to really go for things. And they've been shooting well when they've gotten it, but it's few and far between.
Sign of a good team, really, right? Well, they've kind of closed the court down and kept the other team at bay whilst kind of applying their own game plan. So I think they'll be very happy with where they are at 3-2, 2-love up here in fairly reasonable time as well. It's impressive, but a great
That's another
shot.
nice shot. Well, this is a good start. This is a very good start in this third game for the team in white. Again, Adam Buse and Greg MacArthur. And this is, to be quite frank, this is what they needed to do, because they were looking at, this could be a quick third game if they weren't ready. That's going to be a stroke.
I think so.
I think a stroke, yep, should be.
So quick start here. They've come out positive. That's the good thing to see here from Team White. They've decided that they're going to come out, they're going to shoot when it's there, and they've kind of taken the game to them, which is, I think, is always a positive thing to see.
And that's another error now from Stout and Arnold. So this is good. This is excellent. This is really nice response by the team in white.
Scott just taking a look where everyone was there on his way to the back.
Oh, wow.
Putting on the body of Buse.
Buse playing hockey goalie over there.
Greggy wiping his hand in the mid-rally here. Buse, great guy. Oh,
wow, he thought he nicked
did he
that.
get that?
That
Yeah.
was unbelievable. And then he wins it.
A casual finish there.
So casual.
A little bit of
After he dug out that ball right before, too, Ash. I mean, come on.
a good poke and prod there. Good use down the middle. He's looking a little hopeful there for the angle. Just not quite getting in. Another cheap error. So pressure starting to build again on Team White here.
Yeah, that one was too bad because they've had such a nice start. Just you don't want to throw away a point like that. I know they want to shoot, but oh boy.
And similar to our first semi-final. The underdog team kind of pulled away a little bit, and the higher seeds pulled
reeled
right
back in.
Yeah, exactly. So it can definitely be a little bit deflating for Team White after running away to a little quick lead there, but we've got to stick to their guns and be positive, I think.
Well, this is, of the 3 games, this is the only time they've been at even 5-all. They've been in big deficits in the other 2 games at this stage. So this is this is an accomplishment, and if they can just keep positive about it.
Yeah, there's much to be said to stay with a team, and this was something that we struggled with against Stout and Arnold, is get yourself to 10-all, be in the game by the time you get into the final third.
Yep.
And if you're not doing that, it becomes obviously very tricky to win matches. So I think for these guys here, even if the other team's playing quite well, I would be trying to let's get to 10-all. Let's get up to that 10-point marker before the other guys.
Oof.
Just to give yourself a chance. It's good hands.
Really good.
Stout just waving his wand, getting anything on it he can. And it's a good finish off the top of the head there.
Again, that he could have called let. He decided to play it.
Saw the opportunity with Greg obviously kind of planted out of the game there, and Views thinking he was going to stop. Very savvy there from Arnold, showing his experience.
I'm a very tall 5'8", and I would not have been able to hit that shot over Greg MacArthur's head. So part of the reason that Arnold was able to do that is because he's tall enough to be
coming from a high angle.
Coming from a high angle over a very tall MacArthur too. Oh, that's a good shot.
That's good pace.
Well done. So we're at even here at 7-all. This is what we were talking about. This is they are hanging in here in this third game. This is the first game they've done that, and it's well done. Oh, is it 8-6?
8-6.
Oh, it's 8-6. I thought they were 7-all. 8-6. Okay.
And they've managed to stop Stout from having too many easy options. And
nice
on
pickup by
his
MacArthur there. Yeah, it's interesting. They look like they're playing Arnold.
Starting to target him a little bit. Yep. It's definitely good.
It's about 8 out of 10 balls seem to be going. Oof. 7 out of 10 balls. Ooh.
Good call there from Views.
Yep.
Just got the wrong side of it there, James. But
well, I think Stout wasn't sure which way Adam was going to go. He could have played it on his forehand, or he could have turned to his backhand. And so he was sort of in that no man's land of trying to get out of the way.
Always good to see the old safety let there, though, from Views rather than taking someone's head off.
Yep.
Really opting to keep it on that forehand there from Views, and a good finish.
Nice. By far the best game for White. Wow. Okay, they've actually got a lead coming up on the 10-point margin here, or the 10-point mark, not margin.
Cheap
and
error.
There they are.
And here we go. They made it to 10.
They made it to 10 first with a nice little lead here.
Gives them a cushion to start being a little bit more aggressive and take it to them here.
Now, are Stout and Arnold going to dig in here and try and put this away in 3, or are they going to be content to see what happens?
You've got to think with the other team winning in 3 and in the final, sat there in the change rooms already, you probably want to try and push and get this off in 3 if you can and eliminate all risk.
It's also, it would be a nice difference for them since they haven't had a comfortable 3-love win yet in this tournament. And they're playing a team that, if they make it to the finals, they'll be playing a team that hasn't lost a game yet. going into the finals.
Interesting choice there from Stout. Just kind of tried to finish it casually into the front right and left himself a little bit unstuck. So not quite the right choice there, and maybe just trying to shoot a little bit earlier than he wanted to there. So good chance for White.
11-6. Can they push through and close out this game and really work their way into the match? This was not what I was expecting. I have to be honest. I thought at the start of the third game, I thought that Stout and Arnold were playing too well.
Yeah, good little momentum shift here. Obviously positive start, which was good to see, and just like you said, Will hung in there until 7-all or 6-all or whatever it was, and then managed to break off in a few points, which is slightly different to the other games where they got behind the game early. Just a safety lap there.
What I like is they've really taken their opportunities this game. You had said yesterday that when you were playing yesterday that you guys felt like you had to hit 9 winners a game against them. And in this game, Adam and Greg have hit a bunch of winners.
Yeah, that's the quality that they kind of bring to the court with their basic hitting. You really do have to have an arsenal of winners to kind of be able to take them down, because they're going to hit winners and they're not going to give you much. Similar to that first semi-final, we saw Callis and Khalifa give away very, very little, right? So this top level, if you want to be making finals and going to win these events, you've got to have a lot of winners in you.
And that was a nice streak for Buse and MacArthur that was just ended after they had won 5 points in a row. And now the question is, will they be able to just sort of get back into it, or does the streak change things?
Uncharacteristic error there.
Yep.
Off the racket of Stout. Just looked like he was trying to hit that all the way back to Manhattan. Not known for his really big hitting, but he looked like he really wanted to give that one a wallop.
Nice lob.
Ooh, lazy there from Greg. Didn't really move the feet, just tried to use the racket.
Yep.
Paid the price.
4-point game. Buse and MacArthur well positioned here to put this game away. Can they see it through?
Let's stand down the middle here. Greg looking to carve the ball in.
He called that? I think he must have called that. Oh no, he didn't. As a winner.
Interesting point there. Both teams kind of stop it moving. So 13-9. 4 points behind.
This will be very impressive if White gets this game.
Stout loves that trickle boast up in the front left. Close one.
Trouble. Nice reflex.
Good coverage.
By Adam. Yep, good coverage. White's playing well here. Trouble, nice. Again, Adams playing very well. Safety lap. Still 13-9, 4-point game. Team in white's leading 13-9. They're down 2 games to love.
Neither team wanting to give anything away easy here at the end of the latter stages of this third game.
Nice lob.
Just clipping the tin there, Buse. Just trying to put a little bit too much sauce on it.
Yeah, but I like that. They're being aggressive. They're still, it's not, as you said earlier, you know, it's all too easy sometimes to go into defensive mode when you are right near the finish line. And the way that they've gotten here is by being aggressive this game. So.
Agreed. It's good to see. Attacking ball there from Buse. Looking to move Stout forward and then create the space in the back.
Oh, I thought he was lining that one up.
Both players exchanging the same shots. Oh, it's great.
There it is. Well done. Now look at that.
Great touch.
And to your point about feet, was just before he hit it, he got his feet set.
I think this really highlights the fine margin between these levels of players, right? Just slight little tweak in level and attention to detail can result in 15-10 the other way, showing how close these guys really are. Great lift there from MacArthur. Both teams using the height well here as the ball starts to soften up. I'll be intrigued to see if they ask for a new ball, either team, at the end of the third.
Long point.
Both teams realizing it's a big point.
Oof. It's going to be a lead, I'm quite sure.
Little tumble there for the tall Scotsman. Slow motion tumble.
Actually, you know, considering how big both Scott and Greg are, there's been very little traffic problems between them.
Yep, both
on that side.
Both very,
very
classy
clean
players and move very well and very fair and respectable out there. Both of them probably acknowledging they don't want to get hit by the other person as well, with the power of the swings that they have. And I'm sure they've played many a time against each other, so. In the beam. It's good pressure. They're not letting this one go here, Team Black. They're going to have to beat them, White.
Yep. But I'll tell you something, that if White does get this game, the fact that Black has not let it go is going to be good for White, because they will have beaten them and not just had the other team sort of give up at the end, which can give you sort of a false sense of confidence.
Most definitely.
However, that's assuming they actually win this game, and now you're getting into a little bit, we're at that 14-12 point.
Yep.
You said that's not where you ever want to be.
This is where you kind of got to make that decision. Are you going to be aggressive, or are you going to defend and not get caught in between if you've got the lead? Oh, and he snatched at it.
There we go. They got the game. The 14-12 jinx was overcome.
Yep, there we go.
So that's nice. All right, well, we've got a match now. Stout and Arnold, I think, would have liked to have gotten out of here in 3. But all credit to Buse and MacArthur, who came out with a little bit of a different game plan, took it to them, wound up getting a lead. It dissipated, then they went point for point, then they actually got a little bit of a, started to accrete a little bit of a lead, and they put it away.
Yep, no, I think that's exactly it. They came out and they decided to be positive on the ball. Obviously, a couple of winners coming off of both rackets from MacArthur and Buse. And a couple of errors crept in from the other team because they kind of flipped the dynamic and the momentum shifted a little bit. And they got a sniff of what it was like to be in front. So interesting to see how, obviously, Team Black bounces back here. It could go either way, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be very interested to see how White starts, because now they've had some success. Are they going to come out shooting the way they were, or now they're going to say, okay, we're in this match now and sort of feel it out? Because the way they've got there was by being aggressive in that game and actually taking it to Team Black. And sometimes people, I think teams can feel like that got them into the match, but they're sort of reluctant to do that all the way through. So how White starts this game, I think, will be very indicative of what's going to happen here as this match unfolds.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think they've got to go again with the same, at least for me, they've got to go in positive. They've got to try and enforce that game plan and take it to them, because if they kind of sit on their heels and let Stout and Arnold kind of dictate, they could be in trouble. So we'll see how they go here.
Now, we haven't seen, we're sitting in a place where the players sometimes come up and chat, but we're not seeing anybody around here right now. So presumably they're having their own little chat somewhere out there. And I think one team may be back on the court already. Adam Buse and Greg MacArthur came back and won the third game. A little bit of a surprise based on how dominant the team in black were at the beginning. And I'm Will Carlin, and I'm here with Ashley Davies, and we are interested to see how this would start for Team White. And Ash, this is a good start for Team White.
This is exactly what they were looking for as they were speaking in between games, I'm sure. Looking to get out early, a couple of tins, a couple of winners. Let's see if they can build on this. Obviously, Buse trying to get the crowd involved.
Yeah, you saw that too. He was sort of like trying to pump the crowd up.
Oh, wow. Exquisite winner there over the shoulder of Greg MacArthur. I'm sure Team Black don't want this going to 5 games.
You better believe both teams here. I think this could be the biggest dogfight of the match so far, this game right here, because both teams really, I mean, White obviously needs to win it just to stay in the match, and Black really does not want to go 5.
Interesting from Buse, turning there, kind of exposed
Nice
himself by doing that and hitting it straight back to James Stout. He made the court incredibly long for himself.
Yep. Stout recognized it, hit a reverse, easy reverse for the winner. That's a nice,
outrageous ballerina backhand volley there from James Stout. Really trying to work it into this back left corner again after obviously quite a few winners coming from the racket of MacArthur. I'm not surprised here from Team Black.
Well, a brilliant start for Love. Now 4-3. Buse and MacArthur have to stay positive here. They've been playing very well since the end of the second game.
It's another winner again. It's been a while since Stout's had an easy one on his forehand volley, and maybe that's just a sign of them kind of restabilizing and getting back to where they were in the first 2 games.
Now that you mention it, Ash, I mean, we were really talking about how well Scott was playing in the first 2 games, and in that third game, we really didn't even say his name very much. So he either cooled off, went to sleep, or they effectively took him out of the match.
I think it's probably more so the latter. I think White kind of enforced their game plan and got Scott out of his comfort zone a little bit there, and obviously great scrappy winner there from Hughes. He's fired up, he's pointing around, he's trying to wave the crowd around, so he's up for a 5th game here, Adam.
Well, he senses the opportunity. He senses like, okay, we've actually figured out a way to get into this match, and if we can keep the energy up, we could actually cause some problems here.
Most definitely.
And you know how it is when a good competitor, wow, that's a great shot. Look at this, boom.
Slam dunk.
When a great competitor realizes they have a whiff of a chance, it can completely motivate them.
Most definitely, and these guys were right in this game. When they start believing it, they could really do some damage. It's gonna be a good test for Team Black, and
the first 2 games did not get to 5-all. The third game, which Team White won, was at 5-all. So
you're saying the odds are in the favor of White for this
well,
one?
I'm just saying that the first 2 games got away from them early, and the game they won, they hung in point for point until they finally got a little bit of a lead near the 2/3 point of the game. And so I think this is positive for Team White. It's not going to be a blowout here. They need to keep doing it, though. That's a great shot. It's another great shot. Well done.
MacArthur really starting to feel himself when he gets on the ball nice and early, and he's got time. He's producing some great winners this last second half of the game.
We'll check the ball again. Wonder if something's going on with that ball. It's bouncing funny. You know how sometimes a ball is cracked on the inside and it starts to bounce funny? It's not broken through, but you know something's a little bit up with it. This is excellent by Team White.
Ooh.
Too bad. They had it lined up.
It's good to see, though, taking the game to them there. Obviously hit a couple of winners. Why not try and keep it going?
Yeah, I think we've both said that what we want is for them to be aggressive, to keep being aggressive in this game.
James Stout very quick
Look at
onto
that.
that ball there. A lot of purpose, a lot of intent on this one.
Boom.
Almost put his shoulder out. He tried to hit it that hard.
You see the follow through sort of wrapped around his body there.
Yeah, it was quite a follow through. He meant it, that's for sure. That's what we saw.
Trouble. Nice.
Oh, and a clinical finish there from Scott.
Well, it has turned around here. It's still only 1 point, but this is the first time that Stout and Arnold have had a lead now in this game.
Really is a game of momentum doubles, I feel like. How quickly did that shift from 7-5, looking pretty positive for Team White, to
9-7 now.
9-7, pulling out the lead here. So Team White have got to get the brakes on this momentum, or it could run away from them quickly here before they know it. Getting beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, Scotty.
You want to see an overhead? Let me show you an overhead. Wow.
Scotty. Absolutely lovely shot. Check the ball. I would definitely ask them to check the ball after that ball skidded out of the neck like that.
Oh, what a great start by Team White. Has just completely disappeared now. And now, there's no question that Team Black is in the driver's seat as they're headed for the finish line.
Yeah, and it's just a really good example of the purpose, I feel like. The last 5 rallies, there's been 4 outright shots where they've either hit winners or really put some purpose into the ball, and it's just helped them get over the line with those big rallies.
Huh?
Friendly
I thought he
play
was gonna
from
call
Stout
that.
there. Yeah, friendly play. Good hands.
Oh, wow.
Oh, great work from Stout there, showing off his athleticism. Ooh.
Trying to keep him.
Oh.
You put it.
Really starting to feel themselves here, aren't they, the 2 seeds?
Unbelievable.
And that's how deadly they can be when they relax.
Nice get.
Stout
Another
covering.
good get.
Oh,
But you can hear the crowd wants to see more Buse. Again, just to remind people, Adam Buse on the left side in the white shirt was the former pro here at the Heights Casino, so he's got a lot of fans.
watching that closely there, Stout. Getting worked.
It's a nice point by Buse. First he got Stout having to go to the back. Then he sort of said, okay, you got that one. Let's see you get this one.
See the movement of Stout there collapsing as well into the front left. Wasn't liking that movement, so I'm sure Team White will be looking to get him going up there as much as they can when they get the right opportunity. It's good targets from Scott. He's getting stopped and started here, front and back.
Oh, yours!
Buse just starting to get a little bit stretched front and back there, and eventually didn't want to charge that one down.
I have to give Buse and MacArthur credit here, though. They've really, this game was in danger of getting away from them, and they've hung in. And they're still in this game.
Yep.
They're definitely in this game. Oh, you can see Stout's intensity is going up here. He knows this is big, and that is not a time to hit the floor. He hit the floor.
Poor choice there
Ash.
under pressure.
He hit the floor.
Not something
Oh,
we've seen
no.
from Greg MacArthur's racket this match. Gifting them the 3-point lead. Can they hold on to it here and close out? Stout playing all sorts of angles that no one else sees.
I feel like every time I compliment Team White, it's been a jinx.
Commentator's curse, Will.
There it is.
Stout getting time on that volley again, applying pressure. You can't leave him there. He's so clinical.
Good get by Scott.
MacArthur looking to shorten the rally. Here, though, hit the winner. Great
Oh,
shot from
nicely
Buse.
done. Perfect place for Adam Buse. Overhead, seeing the opportunity, getting it there as fast as he could. They're still in trouble, though. Down 2 points. And Team Black has 2 points from victory right now. Close it out to get to the finals.
They'll be praying they can close this one out here.
Oh, wow. Great get by Buse. I thought that was a winner.
Buse is really stepping up here in the latter stages of this fourth game, playing great. Oh, and I think a little bit of contact.
I think I would think he would get a let if he asked for it. Has he asked for it officially? I think so. I think he has. I think he was given a let. Still 13-11.
I think that's a fair decision.
Yeah, we saw the contact.
Loose one from Greg. Both teams going for it here. Oh.
Wow.
Good spot by
You
Buse.
see the little fist and the little excitement there by Buse. That was huge. And of course, if Stout and Arnold win this point, they're in the dreaded 14-12 position.
You'd hate to see it. It's good heat, opening it up. Both teams slashing at it a little bit. Looks like the ball may have gone, I'm not sure. Oh, that's serious.
I think he asked for a left, but I don't think he's going to get it.
I think it was too good. It was that inside-out backhand tennis slice again.
14-12, 12-14. Here it is, the dreaded 14-12, but it does give Stoughton Arnold 3 match balls.
See if they can close this out after being 14-12 down in their first round. Oh, and it's a little bit of contact. Going to play a left ball here. Really good to see that from Scott Arnold there, just acknowledging the contact, the excessive contact, and playing a fair play let ball. Love to see that. And it looks like the ball has gone, so they're gonna check that.
They're gonna check the ball at match ball. What a time!
So we're gonna have a new ball be warmed up here.
What a time at match ball.
So I think the rule is, Will, that the youngest player on the court is supposed to warm the ball up. I think that's the unwritten etiquette on the SDA Pro Tour when the ball pops.
I like that bit of trivia.
So I don't know if that makes James the youngest, or whether or at least takes the first stab at warming the ball up whilst it's cold.
It's something that I should have in my notes here, how old all 4 of the players are, but you're catching me off here. I don't know who is the oldest. I think
we've got a blend.
The oldest might be Adam, I think. I'm not sure.
It's a good question. All similar ages out there, but
yeah. All right, it's 12-14. Team in black,
we go
number
again.
2 seeds have 3 match balls. This is a new ball because the ball broke on the last point on match ball.
Crowd getting very vocal, trying to extend this to a 5th game for their home play abuse.
And here we go. Oh, wow.
Good hard work there from Hughes. Really getting put to the sword here.
Trouble.
Well reset there
Good
from
cut.
MacArthur. Ooh, good call.
It was a hard ball, and Stout just sort of like, yeah. But my opponent's in the way.
Ball's flying, obviously brand new ball, really moving here. Both teams waiting for the right time to take the ball in short.
This is a good point. Oh, that ball was tight. Oh,
great get there from Hughes, a little bit of miscommunication.
And there it is.
It's one down the middle.
All right, well, I'm going to go talk to the winners. Ash, thank you very much for doing this with me. And for everyone there, hold on a second. I'll be down on the court.